All right, guys, and we are back with the Pack Boys podcast. This is episode 7. We are so happy to still be doing this. It's so much fun. Got a lot of good things to talk about in the NFL and with our college episode later in the week. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of things we're going to get into. Um, First, we're going to probably jump right into Take It Personal.
hmm
Where I will ask Trey, if you're new to this, 3 Cowboys questions because he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and he will ask me 3 questions about the Steelers because I'm a Steelers fan. So I'm going to start, if that's okay with you, Trey, and I will
Hit
ask
me
you your first one. Is Micah Parsons just definitely the best player in football right now?
with TJ Watt on the sidelines. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I don't think so
With
either. I
with
agree.
he is the highest rated pass rusher, and he doesn't even line up there all the time. Um, and if people want to argue with me that Watt's better than Parsons, I would ask them, can TJ Watt play middle backer?
Yeah, it's a
That's
really good argument. I'm a
yeah.
Steelers fan, and I agree with you. So
He's also last year. I don't know if he has this year yet, but last year he took like I think 30 snaps at strong safety, and he took like 4 snaps at corner when he followed a running back out and played man coverage. There's
my
not a guy
God.
who can rush off the edge with that much talent and still cover a guy in like has the trust to cover on the edge in man coverage and play strong safety. He is
Yeah,
far and away the best defensive player in football. He's so versatile. He's so good at what he does. Micah Parsons is now the best football player is tough
say it.
because quarterback is so important.
I get it, but say it.
But if you the and this goes back because we talked about this. Well, we haven't talked about it on air, but in terms of Madden ratings, he was below Demario Davis at
Yeah,
outside
which
linebacker in
is
Madden ratings. It was disrespectful.
yeah,
He wasn't even a 90, and
yeah.
he's the best defensive player in football. It's just an absolute shame. So hopefully next year they recognize and give him a 99 out of the gate.
They probably will, I would assume. I mean, he's doing it again, but yeah, I agree with you 100%.
My first question for you, Douglas: if the Steelers on Thursday night and they go to Cleveland, if they score less than 20 points and lose with the long week, I think it's like 9 or 10 days to prep. Does Pickett become the starter in week
I
4?
I would say so, yeah,
Okay.
probably. I'm calling for him now, but it does make sense. You don't want to do it in a quote unquote rival game
Mm-hmm.
on the road on a short week. So it makes no sense to do it right now. He is needed now, but they're not going to do it now. So I
Mm-hmm.
think if we go in there, score less than 20, and we lose,
Yeah.
I think against the Jets week 4 at home, which is a good matchup too. I mean, everything just lines up
Yes.
for week 4 for Pickett. So I'm thinking that that's when he's going to have to get it done. And Trubisky sucks, man. I said that 1,000
I
times.
think I think people got a little too excited when he came.
Um,
I don't know what they saw really.
yeah, me either. No, this is the same guy that was in Chicago. He stunk there. He stinks here.
Yeah.
And Matt Canada is a problem also.
He doesn't like to throw the ball deep, does he? He
He
doesn't like.
no, well, he calls plays like we're watching a high school game. Like his play calling seems like a
Yeah.
high school coach, which I don't really like, or like a college game.
He's the guy at the poker table when somebody goes all in, even if he has the best hand, he folds.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
he could have pair of aces. Oh, I'll fold.
yeah, no,
Oh, I'm done.
I
He
definitely
just
do.
he likes to play conservative for sure.
I definitely do think that right now I'm thinking the Steelers are going to lose a tight one, to be honest. I just don't see offensive
This
production. The defense will have to win that game.
the Steelers offensive or their Steelers defensive like run game is not that good, and the Browns are going to come out and run the ball 50 times in that game.
Well, the Browns I heard today could be without, they're for sure without Clowney. They could be
Mm-hmm.
without Garrett and both their tackles, Conklin and the other one.
Jesus.
So those aren't definitives, but Clowney's for sure gone.
Yeah, I saw it. Clowney was done. No, yeah, I just don't like if the I don't know what it is about like Cam Hayward. I don't know if he's good against the run because he's been there for a while and they've been bad against the run for a while.
I
And it's not
know.
all on one person. I get that there's line like Devin Bush is probably the worst person against the run, worst linebacker against the run in the past 10 years. Terrible.
He is
Ryan
terrible.
Shazier when he was there, and if it was an in between the tackles run, he would get killed too. He could
Yep.
he could run sideline to sideline all day, but if it was in between tackles and the lineman hit him, he was only 210 pounds. He was
Yep.
getting bullied.
Yeah.
So they got some serious issues, and from what I saw on Sunday, Miles Jack ain't fixing any of them. So
No.
that's an area of concern going into this week.
With my second question to you, Noah Brown has really came around, it
Mm-hmm.
seems.
Yeah.
I think he's a 5-year pro, and this
Mm-hmm.
is definitely the best 2-game stretch of his pro career. He's got 5 catches per game right now, 68 in the first one, and 91 in a touchdown in week 2. Gallup is set to return this week,
Yeah.
possibly. Does Gallup, I know he will technically be ahead of him on the depth chart, but does Brown still get the consistency on these touches that he's getting, or will Gallup get all of those touches?
Gallup will get them all back.
You think?
Gallup's been healthy and he's been practicing for a while. They're just taking they just signed him Gallup to an extension in the offseason for a lot of money. So they've been bringing him along slowly. He's still been in practice. He's still been doing everything. They're just slowly waiting to get him into the game plan because, like I said, he signed that long contract. They don't want to throw him back out there off an ACL tear and have him hurt it again. So no, Noah Brown, he's been a good player for the Cowboys. I never disliked him. He was always more of a blocker.
Yeah.
If you go back 2 years and you saw Noah Brown on the field, it was a run.
Yeah.
He's a great blocker. They come in motion, they let him block behind the line of scrimmage. Great blocker. He's a fine receiver, but I don't if you're throwing him out there against the Ramses and the Jair Alexanders of the world, I don't think he gets a catch.
Yeah.
No, I think Gallup definitely retakes that number 2 spot and probably takes at least half of Brown's production.
Okay.
My second question, Jaylen Warren. It's been a guy who's kind of popped on film and done some good things through the first 2 weeks. My question is, should he just have a bigger role in the offense? I mean, Najee still got the ankle. He didn't look 100% on Sunday. And Warren's had last week he had 4 carries and 1 reception. Should he have maybe like double that until Najee's ankle's 100%?
Yeah, there's something weird going on with Najee. I definitely think that the Liz Frank is acting up still.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not gonna say that to scare people and make it look bad, because I know that's not a good injury. But I think Warren should get involved more, just solely because of his pass blocking presence. He is so much better at pass blocking than Najee, and it's not close. He put Gerald Pratt right on his
Yeah,
ass in week
he
1.
killed him.
2 or 3 plays later, he did the same thing to Logan Wilson.
Yeah.
And we're talking 2 decent middle linebackers that are big. So I love the kid, and he runs hard. He's explosive.
That's when he touched the ball, it was kind of almost like Cowboys fans will know what I'm talking about. Maybe not everyone, but it was kind of looked like the Zeke Pollard thing.
Yeah.
Where he touched the ball and he hit a hole harder than Najee was.
Yep.
And he was just getting, it wasn't ever going to be a big game, but he's getting, 5 yards on a carry and hitting the hole hard, and that's all you can really ask for. So I like what he's been doing. Like you said, he's been great in pass protection. He's been jacking up linebackers.
Yep.
I just think he should have a little bit bigger of a role for them. And then,
I agree.
let some weight off of Najee. Hopefully, I mean, if Najee's still going to play, that thing might never heal until he has a significant rest. But I like Jaylen Warren. I think he's a tough player.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next question, stay with me because it's a 2-parter. Okay. Before week 2 of the Cowboys game, Stephen Jones said pregame on 105.3, that must be sports radio down in Dallas or something, that Dak could be back by week 3 or 4. Okay. So this is where the 2-part question kind of comes into play. Since they're clearly not tanking, they just beat Cincinnati as you wanted them to, which we knew they weren't going to. Do you want them to rush Dak back as soon as possible, or would you like them to wait the 4 to 6 weeks and stick Cooper Rush in there?
Oh, this is like me now versus future me.
I know.
Because future me wants him to rest.
Yep.
Me now wants him just to come back.
Yeah.
If he can come back and be fine, then it is what it is. But if Rush would have went out and laid an egg on Sunday and it would have, and they lost, 40 something to 10, then maybe you're starting all right, get back. But Rush played fine. The run game looked fine. Pollard looked great.
Parsons raised hell again.
The offensive line, I'm hearing rumors that Jason Peters might start at left tackle. and that'll help because you can get Tyler Smith back inside, even though Tyler Smith's played great at left tackle.
Yeah.
I right now I'd put there's no rush on Dak to get back. Get
I
the
love
hand
it.
feeling fine. Get his grip. Get throwing again. It's probably gonna need. I mean, he's probably working out still a little bit, but
Yeah.
can't go 100% with your hands still all messed up. So, no, I'm definitely in the waited out category. But obviously, the sooner he gets back, the better it is for the Cowboys, I think.
Yeah. I like it.
And then my third question is another question about how many touches a guy needs. I gotta say, if you went back probably 2 months when we were in the heart of camp, and you asked any Steelers fan who the best guy on the field was, it's George Pickens.
Yeah.
That was the resounding answer. This guy is lighting it up. He's the best
Yep.
receiver here. He is going to be. I heard. I'm not making this up. I heard gold jacket comments. I heard
Okay.
from serious people say gold jacket comments. He's had in both of the games, their first two games, he's had exactly 1 catch and 3 targets.
Yep.
In each of the games.
Yep.
How many touches does he need to maybe unlock this offense? And because he's probably a deep threat guy right now. He's probably going to be your field stretcher and let Deontay and Claypool feast underneath.
Yep.
How many shots do you think you need to take with Pickens a game?
I'd say more than what they're doing now. You got to do
Yeah.
at least 4 or 5 of them. I mean, they're not throwing the ball deep at all, which is the problem. The deepest pass Sunday against New England was 23 yards, which that really wasn't even 23 yards. Pickens caught it and ran for a few in the process of it. So it's definitely quarterback issues, but Pickens is getting frustrated. I heard him say today when he was talking to the media, someone asked him like, so what's the issues here? And he said, I don't know. I feel like we're all open, like meaning all the receivers are open. So like, I thought he was like taking a shot at Trubisky.
Yeah.
And then they asked Trubisky, about the audibles, and he said, well, I'm not allowed to audible. I mean, we're talking about a 6-year veteran.
Wow.
He's not allowed to call an audible.
Yeah, it sounds like Canada
So
could be out before anybody.
that's what I wouldn't hate if both got plucked at the same time. Just see ya to double whammy. But that being said, I think you need to try and get Pickens involved with just everything underneath, over the top.
Yeah.
Just, dude, he's insane. If he's that good, you got to try.
From everything I heard coming out of camp is that he could challenge for Claypool number 2 spot. That's how good he was playing.
I would take him, just from what I've heard and saw in preseason.
Yes.
Right now, I would take him over Claypool.
So that's just been a mystery to me why he hasn't got the touches he's gotten in the preseason or the just first 2 weeks.
It's just the unknown of the Steelers, I suppose.
All right, we are back with a new segment. It is called Shake and Take. This is going to be sort of a rapid fire, quick yes and no, short explanation, get as many takes out there as we can. It's going to be football. There's going to be some other things involved in it as well. So should be interesting. We're going to see how it goes. First time doing it. Question, Douglas, do we want to go do you want me to ask you all the questions and then you ask all the questions, or do you want to go back and forth?
We can go back and forth if you want.
Okay. All right. I have 7, and I will start it off with, is Justin Herbert a top 2 quarterback right now? I know you're high on him. Is he a top 2 quarterback in the NFL?
No.
Okay.
Mahomes and Allen.
I figured.
I hate it. I hate it. I love him, but I gotta go Mahomes and Allen. Is Tua a top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now?
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be curious on the other 14. Maybe we'll do that in a later segment. But
because I think we saw someone who on Monday night who might have been people considered a top 15 quarterback, and maybe he was playing in the purple uniform.
Yeah. I don't know if I had him in my top 15, but he was right outside of it, if not.
Is Najee Harris a top 5 running back when he's fully healthy?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how debatable that is. He had 1,200 yards last year behind that offensive line, and it stunk. So I have to give him top 5. A lot of people will say no, but I'm high on Najee as far as his talent goes. Brady does not look completely all there. What percentage, if you had to pick 1 to 100, does he retire midseason?
Oh, 0.
You don't think there's any shot at all?
I don't think he quits on his guys. Even if it's bad, I don't think he quits on his guys. I don't think
Okay.
midseason. I could see like, walking off the field if they lose in the playoffs, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I could see that. But in season, I don't think he gives any indication that he's done.
Okay.
Will Matt Rule in Carolina be the first NFL head coach fired this season?
He should be, yes. I mean, you bring in Baker, you bring in Darnold, all these guys, you skip on Pickett, which I get, but apparently he loved him, and that happens. He's got to go, man. I mean, you got skills players around you too. Defense isn't too shabby either. My next question for you, are the 49ers going to be less dangerous or more dangerous with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Less dangerous. Just because Garoppolo doesn't have the running element that Lance had. I think Lance in Shanahan's offense with all the creativity, he just gave him more options on what to do. I think they're going to be fine. I think Garoppolo's a fine quarterback. He was able to get him to the playoffs last year, was able to win a playoff game, even though it was against the sad sack Cowboys. But, credit to him for that. And,
Yep.
I mean, actually was able to go to Green Bay, win another one. Probably should have been in the freaking Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. I think they'll be fine, but they won't be at their full potential.
Okay.
If TJ Watt, that they're saying he could be back by week 5, week 6, if he cannot be back until the halfway point. So if he can't be back until after week 9,
Okay.
do the Steelers make the playoffs?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, that's tough, man. That's tough. Elaboration quickly. If Pickett starts week 4, yes. If not, 0 chance. I give him a 0% chance. I think Pickett could keep them above float till he got back. Question 4 from me to you. Do you still feel confident in the Raiders to succeed at such a high level this year after starting off 0-2?
I was going to ask pretty much the same question. I was going to ask, my next question was, will the Raiders make the playoffs? I guess I'll just answer that one for both of us. I do. I think there's a lot of new pieces there.
Yep.
And, the loss on Sunday was bad. They were up so much. They were killing it in the first half, and they just came out so flat in the second half. That's going to be tough to overcome. They're NFL. They're professionals. They've been around the block. You just got to let these new pieces gel. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think they still make the playoffs. They will not win the division, obviously, but
that pass rush in the first half with Crosby and Jones looked terrifying.
Yeah.
The Cardinals could do nothing, and so that's why I still love them. I think they have a great offense and they have great pass rushers. Those are the two main things you need in the NFL. So give me the Raiders will squeak in. They'll be like I had them think as like a 5. I think they might get to a 7.
Okay.
My next question, going away from football, if you're going to see a movie in a movie theater,
Okay.
is popcorn a necessity?
Yes. It has to be a necessity.
I like that answer.
And if I'm going to the one by home, like the old Hollywood one or whatever, getting lots of butter on it too.
Oh,
Tons of butter. I mean, I'm loading it up with butter, salt, and if they have Parmesan cheese, we're getting busy with that as well.
But when I see people walk into like a movie theater and they just get like a bottle of water, like,
yeah,
bro,
what are you doing?
I'm thinking they have like, they're coming in there to do some stuff that isn't watching the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, some illegal activity. I don't know.
Okay.
They just get like the bottle of Dasani. Like, what are you doing, guy? You couldn't even sneak one in. That's weird if you don't sneak a water bottle into a movie theater.
Yeah. A question that I'm sure quite a few people will love that I asked you, unrelated to football as well. If Jake Paul and Top G fought in a boxing match, 8 rounds at 190 pounds, who do you think wins the fight?
How long's the camp? I have to have some qualifiers.
They each get 8 weeks.
Where's the fight?
Vegas.
And what was the outcome of what was the end of the question?
Who would win the fight? Yep.
In Vegas, when Top G has to come all the way over, I'm gonna say Paul. I'm gonna say Paul. Paul's been more active. Top G, it would be interesting because he's probably the better athlete that he's faced.
Yeah.
So he's a great athlete. He has experience in combat, but no,
He's
I still
also
think
very big too. He'd be the
if
biggest guy that he fought.
if that fight's in Romania, I don't know. I don't
I
know. I don't know.
okay.
My last question, it's kind of like a local question. It's something that's going on in the area.
Okay.
So, people that like are around the area might want to get it. Have you seen this guy that's been going around, like in the Houston area? He dresses like a mime, but he's only like invisible to ugly people.
I'm trying to think how to answer this because I know this is a trick.
What? What are you talking about? The guy, he was down on Pike Street today. You didn't see him?
Yeah, I saw him.
Okay. All right. No, I just want to make it sure.
Dude, my brain almost just died right there. I was like, wait a minute.
I think
Oh,
I paused too long in the delivery that you were able to break it down.
oh man. That one, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. Okay. So
You need to post that to TikTok with like the loading
I'm
while
go
you're thinking like just loading.
I'm gonna have to for sure. Okay. Going back to football for my sixth question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that start 0-2 of the 265 teams since 1990, only 30 of them have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's 11.3%. I went and did this. I looked it up. Only 3 of them ever have went on to win the Super Bowl. 93 Cowboys, 0-1 Patriots, 0-7 Giants. Can Cincinnati bounce back from being 0-2 and make the playoffs?
They got to fix up the O line. Can they make the playoffs?
Can they make the playoffs?
Absolutely, they can absolutely make the playoffs. That division's up for grabs.
Still, yep.
Baltimore showed some weaknesses on Sunday. Steelers, they got quarterback things to figure out. The Browns, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon without Watson playing a full season. They can definitely win the division still. There's definitely still up for grabs.
Yep.
They got to get the offensive line figured out because it's ugly. Now, they did face TJ Watt in week 1 and then Micah Parsons in week 2. So that's not a great way to start.
No, not at all.
But they got to figure that out first.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're back with just a little ad break here. Anyone in the Washington, PA, or Pittsburgh area who needs a fence put in or maybe a section repaired. I mean, I know they do anything in fencing. Please call our friends over at Western PA Fencing. They are the best around. It's not close. I highly recommend them. They have done over 100 fences in the last year. They're so quick, precise. Everything is perfect. They're very nice people to work with. Please call our friends at Western PA Fencing. That is 412-618-8014. Again, that is 412-618-8014.
All right, welcome back. We have the episode lead draft for you guys. This one could get contentious, I think, because it's such a limited thing. We had some questions when we came up with the idea for it. It's game day snacks. Now, the idea is we already had the food one at the beginning, the first episode. We had the food one. This is snacks. This is not a lunch. This is not even a breakfast. If you're on the West Coast and you're watching NFL at 9 a.m., this ain't that. This is snacks, not lunch, not dinner. Can't be like a sandwich. Can't be on a bun. Can't be anything like that. This is while you're watching the game, you're taking a bite of it and your eyes are glued to the TV.
Okay.
So, with that being said, it is the odd episode, so I will be going first. And with a slam dunk number 1 pick, give me chips and salsa.
Okay.
So many varieties. You can go corn chips, flour chips. You can go black bean and corn salsa. You can go spicy salsa. So many different combinations. You can go salsa verde with the green salsa.
Yep.
Any different way you can go with that. Chips and salsa. Love it. I love homemade salsa. I make my own homemade salsa every once in a while. It's the best. Make your own salsa and chips one weekend. Game changer.
I'm not happy because that was an obvious one for number 1 pick. I was going
and plus
there
you
as
can
well.
crush so much of it.
I know.
It's just one of those mindless foods where you can crush and then like you don't even need to have that big of a dinner after you had chips and salsa all day.
Yeah. So this one could be, you might tell me that
okay, well,
within the category. And if so, let me know and I'll give you another pick. Okay. With my first pick, since you took the one I wanted, jag off. Walking tacos. What do you say? Come on now.
That's a meal.
Okay.
You're eating it with a fork. I'm looking at my
pizza
list.
Dip,
I'm
pizza
looking
dip. Pizza dip. I'll go pizza dip. I'll go pizza dip.
Pizza dip?
Yeah, you never had pizza dip?
No.
Dude, are you serious?
I'm guessing it's sauce, cheese, and like pepperoni.
Sauce, cheese, mini pepperonis, and you just hack in there with like, the little like baby breads.
That could be the worst possible way to eat pizza.
Dude, so
Dipping
good.
pizza?
Dude, it's so good.
That's a psycho move for
So
sure.
good. I'm telling you, man.
Thank you.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Thank you for taking that. With that, I will go with potato skins. Potato skins. They're kind of bougie. I get it. They're tough to make. They put in a lot of work. I'm not talking about freeze dried. Like you go to the freeze dryer and get potato skin. I'm talking go bag a buy of potatoes, chop them up, save the inside because you can put them in a bag. You can make mashed potatoes later. You can cook them however you want. Nice potato skins. Put them in the air fryer. Put them in the deep fryer. I don't care. Put a little sour cream, chives, cheese, bacon bits. Perfect game day snack.
That's a good pick. With number 2 here, I'm going jalapeno poppers.
All right,
and good. not the ones you buy that are pre-made either. You got to make your own. You buy some jalapenos, cut them in half, get all the seeds out, bread them up, throw a little cheese in there, and air fry them. It's simple, it's easy, and they're awesome.
I don't hate that.
Jalapeno poppers at 2.
I have 9 listed. It didn't make there, but I definitely thought about adding them. With my next one, it's not my highest rank that I still have, but I love the value here at 3. Give me popcorn. We talked about it already this podcast. Popcorn is just one of those smashable foods. You keep your eyes glued, just grab a handful, scarf it. Love popcorn, love it, especially while I'm watching football. Give me popcorn.
That's a good one. With 3 here, I'm going. Give me pigs in a blanket. Come on, don't do that to me, pigs. I've been there where
it's
that's
a snack. It is a snack. I'm not debating that. I'm debating your mindset.
No,
in picking these things.
No, man.
Pigs in a blanket are the worst finger foods out there. They're not good.
They are good.
No,
they are good. Pigs in a blanket.
Listen. Are you doing Vienna sausages? Or are you doing like chopped up hot dogs?
Preferably chopped hot dog.
Okay, well that saves it a little bit, but
yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'd eat it either way, but preferably a chopped hot dog. Yeah.
Oh man, I have so many good ones here to choose because you haven't picked any good ones yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the better version of what you said.
All right.
Better version. Give me pepperoni rolls. Give me homemade pepperoni rolls, a little marinara dip. Perfect.
That sounds so good right now, man. Wow.
You can cut it up into so many different tiny pieces, put it on a platter. You could do a spicy pepperoni roll with some like pepper jack cheese. You can do a one with like peppers and onions or something in it. Love pepperoni rolls on a game day.
That is a great pick, I have to admit. With my 4th pick here, I'm going guac. Chips and guac. Dude, if you don't like guac, I want
You're just so bad at this, right?
No,
you're the worst.
No, you don't like guac? You do not like guac.
I'm looking at 5 different things that are better than guac right now.
That is horse shit. Guac at 4.
That's a bold pick. That's a bold because not everyone likes guac.
Well,
guac on a burrito or burrito bowl with a bunch of different flavors is fine. You eating a chip with just guac?
Well, I can't take the salsa because you took it, but yes, I'd be mixing the 2 together.
No, it doesn't count. You can't do that. You're
just
I
understand. So chips. I'll go guac and chips. I got no shame in that game either. No shame.
I have a tough pick ahead of me because I have some things that I like, but I love this one. This is a staple of mine. Give me the party mix. It has a little bit of every. You can throw at a party. You can throw it out. Everyone likes something out of that party mix. You got the pretzel. You got the Dorito. You got the Sun Chip. You got the Cheeto. And if it's a good one, you got like the little Chex Mix pieces in there too. It's salty. It's crunchy. Throw it in the mouth. Have a drink.
Can't get behind the Chex Mix. Or the party mix.
Oh yeah, like the munchies. Like the bag of munchies that Frito-Lay makes.
Yeah, they're all right. It's just I feel like 80-year-olds eat them.
No, munchies are a solid snack.
And with my fifth pick, give me cheesecake bites, little sweetness in here. The mini little cheesecake bites, you know what I'm talking about?
Where do you go into Market District to buy this stuff?
Sam's Club.
Oh god.
Sam's Club got them. But dude, I mean, you get a big fat tray of like 40 of them for like $20. People will tear them up. Tear them up. Strawberry, there's chocolate in there, just regular.
That's actually a good pick. You probably should have gone with that above. You probably
I knew you wouldn't.
You got
take
the value.
that, I figured, so
you got the value for
I
sure.
let it sit.
So my 5 go chips and salsa, potato skins, popcorn, pepperoni rolls, and party mix / munchies.
It's a good one. My 5 are pizza dip at 1, jalapeno poppers 2, pigs in a blanket, preferably with hot dog at 3. 4, we're doing, where is it? Oh, guac. Yeah, how boring that one was. And cheesecake bites at 5. So
yeah, that was tough. The guac pick.
I like guac a lot.
I have 4 that I think are better than guac.
Let me
Ready to hear them? These are the ones that didn't make my 5, but pizza rolls.
Okay.
You can make them homemade, or you can buy the Tostinos, throw them in the oven. They're quick.
But you can eat that as a meal also.
You could, but you could throw them out. You got the 1:00 kickoff. Throw a tray of them out. You got 8 people watching football.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
7 soft pretzels.
Okay.
You can buy them from a store. You can buy them home. You can make them homemade. Soft pretzels with regular cheese. You can make homemade beer cheese. You can make mustard. Whatever. Soft pretzel always plays. Spinach and artichoke dip.
I had that on my list as well.
So underrated.
I get mad
when I go to a party and there's buffalo chicken dip, but not spinach artichoke dip. Spinach artichoke dip goes with anything. I think buffalo chicken dip kind of just goes with like the tortilla chips.
Mm-hmm.
Spinach and artichoke dip, it can go with tortilla chips. It can go on a cracker. It can go on a pita. It's so good any of the ways you do it. Spinach artichoke dip, better than guac. And lastly, maybe once a year, my family will do this where we're watching football. Give me crab rangoons. If you're ordering out Chinese, a great thing to get to just throw out on the table while you're watching games. Crab rangoons. They're crispy. They're delicious. Crab rangoons, better than guac.
I had, let me see how many here, because you hit one that I had. So I have left 1, 2. I got 2 left. Chicken wontons, not popular, but they're good. I like wontons. I wasn't going to put them on my list unless you literally just diced my list in pieces.
You're talking about like pot stickers?
Yes.
You got to use a fork for that.
Ah, come on. You're telling me bull crap. I will
or chopsticks.
No, I'm not
Still
using
too much
chopsticks.
work. Too much work.
And mozzarella sticks, little marinara sauce, which probably would have placed a little bit better over guac. But I had jalapeno poppers and that, so I didn't want to they're kind of like the same, in a sense.
But hey, that's the NFL draft. You take the best player available.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
If you get 2 of the best, I guess it's never a problem.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are getting into the betting half of the episode. We're going to be talking on some week 3 big game previews, our cards, our best bet parlay of the week, and then the dollar and a dream, which has yet to hit, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling something special this week. I was looking at some of the players that haven't scored yet that are due to score, and I think there's a lot that's going to happen this week.
I've spent 2 hours researching things for mine. So.
I definitely was looking at targets from the first 2 weeks, who's getting a large target share and who's due for maybe a little bit more. So, but just to remind you guys, going into the betting segment, I am 21-10 in the NFL so far. I was 13-4 last week. Douglas was 5-10 last week and 11-19 overall, but he is 2-0 in his best bets, and that's what really counts at the end of the day.
Kinda. As long as they're tailing you and tailing the best bet, they're okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into it. Our first big game is the game tonight. Steelers at Browns. Browns are favored by 4.5. Over under is at 38.5. Steelers are your team, Douglas. I'll let you get the first take on them.
I cannot give the Steelers much love with Trubisky and Canada being coexisting with each other, and I'd like Cleveland to win. That being said, I like the Steelers to cover 4.5, I think. I just think Cleveland, the Browns are the Browns. That's just the best way I could put it. They will find a way to mess up anything they can. I mean, think of this. In 2 minutes, they let up 2 touchdowns because they scored.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not
They
if
just
they
fall
just took a
down.
knee. I mean,
Yeah.
that is Browns being the Browns
Bro.
as much as it could be. So I'm going to take the Steelers. I don't love the game at all, but if I had to pick a side, I think I would take the Steelers to cover 4.5.
I am also going to take the Steelers plus 4.5 in this one. This is AFC North football on a short week.
Yep.
It's going to be nitty. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be a tight game. I also I saw this week, Mitch talked about getting Pickens involved in some more deep shots, just getting him the ball more, get the ball in his hands more, and let him make plays because probably is. I mean, just from a raw talent ability, the best on that team. I mean, Deontay's a
Yep.
stud too, but just raw athletic ability, get the ball to that guy and let him do what he does. I like that Clowney's ruled out. That'll be a big help to the O line, starting
Yeah.
O line. I also saw Miles Garrett, and Jack Conklin are questionable. That'll help too. I mean, I'm
I
sure that
think that I found out today, I'm pretty sure they are playing
they
tomorrow.
are playing, but I like that they're even banged up. It's gonna, they're
That
not
always
gonna be
helps.
they're not gonna be 100%,
Yeah.
regardless if they play or not. I like that they're banged up. The thing that does scare me is the Browns run. Their running offense is good.
It's
They're
very good.
averaging like 200 yards a game on the ground, which makes sense with Brissett at quarterback, and the Steelers' run defense has been bad. But I have a stat for you. In 8 career games versus the Steelers, Nick Chubb has 1 rushing touchdown and 1 game over 100 yards.
Wow.
So he does not play well against the Steelers. I don't know if that's the Steelers scheme or Chubb just doesn't play well against them. Not sure what it does. I will also be taking the Steelers plus 4.5 in that one.
I like it.
Our next game, the Bills are 5.5-point favorites in South Beach as they head to Miami to play the Dolphins. Over-under is 53.5. I will be taking the Dolphins. The Bills, everything is telling me that this line is too small, that the Bills are, the Bills probably should go in every game and be a touchdown favorite. That's how
Yeah.
good that they've looked.
Yeah.
This line is under that, which makes me think Bills, but the Bills also have a shortened week coming off Monday. It's a day shortened, not too crazy. The Bills have basically been flawless through the first 2 weeks. They're due for a little regression.
Yep.
Maybe a little turnover, maybe a little D line finally gets to Allen. And my last note, Mike McDaniel. I keep saying it every week.
I love
That
McDaniel.
team will die for Mike McDaniel. And so 5.5, it's outside of field goal. It's outside of a 4-point touchdown field goal flop. The Dolphins could be up 3 late and Bill scored a touchdown at the end of the game, still cover.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love the Dolphins plus 5.5.
I really don't like this game at all either. I don't really want to touch it. That being said, I think that the Bills will go in there and cover 5.5. The way I see it is I could see the Bills going in there and destroying Miami. I don't think Miami has even a slight chance to beat the brakes off the Bills.
No, if
It'll either be tight
or
a blowout from
I
the
don't think
Bills.
there's any team that can blow out the Bills.
So that being said, just solely based off they got the better quarterback, and I think personally Diggs is better than Tyreek Hill or Waddle, just in my opinion. And the defense is a little bit better too, I would say. So I'm going to take the Bills to cover here. But if it were the Dolphins, like I said, it would not surprise me in the least. That's just picking it for this segment. That's the way I would lean a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the Bills look unstoppable, but that's just the way it kind of goes in the NFL. You look unstoppable until you don't.
Yep.
I'm just picking this spot as this Dolphins team's kind of been tormented by the Bills over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
They're going to be up for it. So that's why I'm taking the Dolphins. Our third game, the Jacksonville Jaguars are in a big game preview. How about that?
I know.
They're heading to the Chargers. Chargers are 7-point favorites. Over under 47.5. I'm taking the Jaguars plus 7. Now, the reason I did that is we don't know if Herbert's going to play. If Herbert
Okay.
doesn't play, I love the Jags +7.
Oh, I do too.
If Herbert plays, this line's probably like 9.5, 10. If he plays, or if he wasn't injured, if they knew he was going to play for sure, it'd be like 9.5, 10. This Jaguars team should be 2-0.
Yeah.
They should be 2-0. They played a team that in the Colts who people thought would be an easy playoff team. They beat them 24-0 at home.
Yeah.
So I love what this Jaguars team is doing. Quietly, Trevor Lawrence is having a great season.
Oh,
He
yeah.
ranks 5th in the league in QBR. He has a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. If they didn't have that second half, blunder against Washington, this could be a team people are talking about playoffs already.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money in free agency. They look good. I like what Peterson's doing down there.
Christian Kirk's a stud, man.
Christian Kirk's a stud.
He's a stud.
Him and Lawrence have already developed some chemistry.
Yep.
The thing I liked about last week against the Colts, they had three picks. They held the Colts offense. They were 2-10 on third down and 0-2 on fourth down. On money down. If you're getting off the field, that's gonna be translate to winning games.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I like the Jags. I like their pass rush. I think Trevor's playing good. Give me the Jags. I don't know if they win the game, even if Herbert's out, but give me the Jags +7.
So if Herbert plays, that's what my assumption's going to be made on.
And for everyone, this is going to get released Thursday. We're recording this on Wednesday, so we have no indication of whether he's going to play or not. And I will allow us, if we find out Herbert's playing or something, or he's not, we can change. That's fine. We can always change and give it out. But it's for right now. We're taking on Wednesday with the information we have.
So I'm going to assume that he's going to play. Just from what I read, it doesn't seem too terrible. And if he could go, I feel like he's going to go, especially being in that division. It's tough. You need every win you could get, really. So I'm going to assume he plays. That being said, I think the Chargers are going to blow the brakes off of the Jaguars if he plays. Right here, I literally typed, the Jags look so promising, but there's just too much firepower. They haven't played a team like this. This ain't Washington. This ain't Indianapolis. They got too much firepower. Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Everett. Josh White's looked good backing up Eckler.
No. Yeah.
The Slater's one of the best tackles in football. Herbert's a top 3 quarterback, in my opinion, ranking at 3. And their defense has improved a lot as well. So that being said, if he doesn't play, give me the Chargers. Or the Jaguars, excuse me. Give me the Jaguars if Herbert does not play. I'm assuming he's going to, though, so I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, you'll see with my next pick, I'm taking underdogs in these big games. Underdogs have been killing it. I think the NFL is just at a place right now where there's so much parity.
Yeah.
And like you said, the Chargers on paper are just a better team.
Yeah.
But I think that there's just so much parity right now. All the games are going to be tight. And to see a game outside of a touchdown now is pretty rare. So that's why I'm taking the Jags. They lose by 7. You got to push.
Yeah.
So our fourth and last game, I think it's the Fox game of the week. I'd be shocked if it isn't.
It is.
Packers at Bucks. Bucks are 1.5-point favorites. Over under is 41.5. Douglas, I'm interested to hear your thoughts before
I got the Packers winning outright. I think that they go in and handle business. That run attack, if they get it going early like they did, and I know it's going to be a tougher task. Vita Vea, but Akeem Hicks is out.
Akeem Hicks is out. It's huge.
So that is huge in itself. Vea is still going to be out there plugging and clogging like a toilet at a fast food restaurant. That being said, A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, that's a 2-headed monster, man. That's flash and thunder, just boom. And I love it. If you can keep the receivers, keep them growing every week, the O-line healthy. If Bakhtiari could be back for this, Elton Jenkins looked great against Chicago. He looks healthy. Rodgers is coming around. They're getting their swagger back. The Bucks without Evans and Akeem Hicks, those are 2 big pieces. No Godwin either. So I'm just going to put my faith here in not necessarily the Packers, but the Bucks really don't have their guys like that are crucial. So I like the Packers just to win outright, and I would take them on the getting 1.5 as well.
I also have Packers -1.5. Bakhtiari having a chance to come back basically makes them injury free. The Buccaneers have some issues. Akeem Hicks and Evans being out are two of their bigger pieces. Jones, Godwin, and Smith are all questionable, but even if they play, like we said, they're banged up. They're not going to be 100%. The Packers run game, you talked about it. Dillon and Jones, they look great in week 2. And I think with Akeem Hicks out, you can do enough to run the ball well. I mean, the Cowboys didn't do much on offense, but for the first half of that game against the Bucs, they were able to run the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
So, and my last note is the Packers have a terrible run defense, but with the interior of the Bucs offensive line out right now, I like them to do enough to keep the Packers in the game and let Aaron Rodgers do what Aaron Rodgers does.
Yep.
So I will be taking the Packers plus 1.5 as well.
Love it.
All right. We're going to hop to our week 3 cards now. I will go first. I already gave out Steelers plus 4.5, Dolphins plus 6.5. I actually had that line moved earlier, so I got it at 6.5 as well as 5.5. Jaguars plus 7, Packers plus 1.5. Now I'll get into the rest of my card. Vikings. I got the Vikings minus 5.5 hosting the Lions. This is an up and down league. You're up one week, you're down the next. Vikings coming off an embarrassing Monday Night Football loss. Lions got their first win. They're going to be sky high. Kirk Cousins, he's out of that primetime slot. He's back into that 1 p.m. slot. He's going to be comfortable. The Lions' run defense is horrible. They give up 5.1 yards a carry and have allowed 5 rushing touchdowns in 2 weeks. I think Cook and Madison get a heavy workload. They both have good games. Vikings just run the ball, play defense. They cover 5.5. Bengals minus 4.5. Up and downs, people. Jets just stole a game from Cleveland. The Bengals had their hearts broken in Dallas. Give me the Bengals plus minus 4.5. I can't believe that line's not closer to a touchdown. The thing we talked about this earlier in this episode. Joe Burrow and that Bengals offensive line have played against T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons, the best 2 edge rushers in the league.
Yep.
The Jets have pieces, but nothing near that. So I think they're going to be able to protect him a little bit easier, scheme some things up, let Chase, Boyd, and Higgins do what they do down the field. And I also saw Sauce Gardner was injured against the Browns last week, so I like their number 1 corner being out too. Ravens minus 3 at New England. Up and downs, people. New England got to win. Ravens a heartbreaking loss. They're going to be motivated. They're going to go in there. Lamar, again, this is going to be demon time season for him. Just trying to get as big as paycheck as he could. And so I'll take the Ravens minus 3. Bears minus 2.5. I'm going to fade Houston every week. This Houston team, I love Davis Mills.
I do too.
The rest of the team is so bad.
I know.
It's literally hand it off to Damon Pierce, get stuffed. Hand it off to Damon Pierce, get stuffed. Drop back, pray Brandon Cooks is open, and try to throw it to him. Yeah. That's literally what it's been. So I'll take the Bears minus 2.5. The Bears got crushed last week, but playing the Texans at home should be much easier. Bears run the football.
Yeah. Had 189 yards on the ground last week.
I understand the Texans' run defense probably is better than the Packers because there's probably not a worse run defense than the Packers. But David Montgomery had 15 carries for 122 yards. Khalil Herbert had 4 carries for 38 yards. That's for Herbert, that's almost 10 yards a clip. For Montgomery, that's like 9 something yards a clip. Just run the football. Yeah. Be like Army of the NFL. Just run the football in every play.
Yep.
And then you run, boot action with Fields. Get him out of the pocket. Use his athleticism. You don't have to sit in shotgun, 20 different times throughout the game. Run the freaking football. I will save my best bet, but my last bet is Sunday night. Give me the Broncos money line. I hate this pick. I hate it.
Oh, man.
It makes me sick to my stomach to take this pick.
I loved about every pick you chose except that one.
Yeah,
and
I know,
it's not because I dislike it. It's another game I don't really want to touch.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I hate it. I think the 49ers are head and shoulders a better team, a better organization than the Broncos.
Yep.
But the 49ers got some injuries. They got some bumps and bruises on that team. This is just a flip brain game, even though even with the injuries, I like the 49ers to win. I think Jimmy G is going to step in, try to seize the moment, prove to everybody he's worth it. And, this window's open for him. Yeah, he's on a 1-year, $6 million deal with the 49ers. He still has a window, if he plays well this season, to go get a contract from somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to play well. This just feels to me like a game that is, 49ers start out well, and then the Broncos come back, but the 49ers have a late lead, and you just see some old-time 2013 Russell Wilson magic, where he just leads a drive at the end of the game and throws a touchdown or gets them in field goal range where they win. So give me Broncos money line plus 106 at home. Mile High's a tough place to play. I'll just put it that way. It's a tough place to go and get a win, especially in a prime time slot. So I'll take the Broncos money line, and I will save my 10th and best bet for the best bet parlay.
Okay. I like most of everything you just did there. We're going to have a lot of the same, I think. Steelers plus 4.5 versus the Browns. Look, like I said, I didn't really want to touch it, but there's things I just don't want to touch more. And short week, AFC North, battles, Brissett, Trubisky, kind of ugly, close scoring game. We'll see. But I like the Steelers to cover 4.5. Ravens -3 versus the Pats. They just lost in heartbreaking fashion to Miami. And the Patriots aren't a good team. They're not that good.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I know they beat the Steelers, but I don't think the Steelers are a good team either. So I just don't think they can score enough to keep up with Baltimore is the problem. Give me the Ravens -3. Lions Vikings over 53.5. The Lions have scored 76 points in 2 games. They've scored
a lot of points.
The Vikings can score as well. I don't think either of their defenses are anything to really call home about. So I like the over here. I don't want to pick it. When I did get the line, I did get the Lions at 7, getting 7, which was, I have the date here, 4 p.m. on 9/19, which is Monday. So the line has obviously changed. I didn't care for the line then, really. Yeah. So that's why I didn't take it. I took the over here. I think the over is a really good spot. I know that's a lot of points in the NFL, but there's no defense being played. I mean, 76 points in 2 games. What are we do? They're scoring as much as the Bills. So I don't see that really stopping against Minnesota's defense, who's really not that great. This one is a pick that scares me, but I just got everything's telling me, like you said, I'm trying to take your advice here with this one. If everything's telling you to take something, take the opposite. So that's what I'm doing with this one. Give me the Colts plus 6.5 versus Kansas City in Arrowhead.
I don't hate that. I thought about it. I didn't take it, but I thought about it.
Something tells me. Do I think the Colts win? No, I'm not saying
Hungry dogs run faster. They haven't got a win yet.
They need to get a win too. They absolutely need one. I think that they are going to feed Taylor until that dude's legs fall off.
Yep.
They're going to do everything they can. Pittman will be back too. So they're going to have their number 1 back and be able to actually throw the ball, hopefully. I like the Colts plus 6.5 here. Eagles Commanders under 50.5. I don't like these NFC East showdowns, dude. It's always, I feel like, low scoring if it's not the Giants and the Cowboys as of lately. It's always low scoring. 50.5's a lot to lay. I know Wentz has looked good. He's not that guy. I mean, Carson Wentz is just not that guy.
No.
I don't know how much of that guy Jalen Hurts is yet. He looks great.
He looked great. He looked great on Monday.
He did. He looked great.
Credit.
But is he that guy? Who knows? And these matchups typically in division, these teams know each other better than everyone else.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be low scoring. Under 50.5 seems pretty easy to me. Give me Vegas -1 versus the Titans. If it was 1.5, I got it at 1. 1.5, I'd take it too. I just think Vegas is going to kind of beat them down. They're in sink or swim mode, especially like out of the teams that are 0-2 right now, like you got Cincy, Indianapolis, Vegas, they're in the worst spot because the AFC West is so strong. I feel like stronger than all the other conferences or divisions. So they're really in like sink or swim mode immediately. The talent's all there. It's just time to apply it. And I think that they will do that against the Titans. Titans are not a good team. This is assuming Herbert plays. Give me the Chargers -7 versus the Jaguars. I love it if he's there, if he's playing. If he's not, I will text you, obviously, and let you know if I want it on my
Mm-hmm.
card, take it off, if I flip it, whatever the case is. But right now, I'm assuming he's going to play. Give me the Chargers to cover 7. Um, Give me Atlanta money line, dude, over the Seahawks. Dude, this team has
It's
heart.
good. This team,
They
this team is an
they
underrated team.
fight.
I don't like taking below average teams with
I
at
get it.
Seattle. At Seattle,
I
Seattle's just a tough place to play for
I
anybody.
get it. But this team is different. They got nothing. They're not expected
Mm,
to win a game all year.
yeah,
House money, no expectations. It'll
ah,
probably
they'll
be,
they'll be favored against the Panthers at home.
yeah, they should probably be. The Panthers suck. Um, I don't know, man. It's going to come down to Mariota hasn't looked bad. He's looked pretty
No,
good.
those look pretty good. Yep.
He has looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that they're going to get a W. Give me the money line there. I don't even want the 1.5 points or whatever it was. Next, Green Bay +1.5 versus Tampa Bay. I already talked about it. I like the money line. I'm going to take the point just in case there, but it's very odd choosing here because both offenses have been relatively shaky. But I just think the Bucks without their pieces are not. Brady hasn't looked right with the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Now take the pieces away. It's just kind of a recipe for disaster, I feel like. So I love the Packers here. And my last one, besides my best bet, which I am saving, Giants versus Cowboys. Give me the over a 39.5. This has hit 7 out of the last 9 times these teams have played. I know it's Cooper Rush instead of Dak, but
I don't like either of those offenses against those defenses Monday
I
night.
get it for
It
sure.
is a little low though, I guess.
But Cooper Rush put up 20 points last week, essentially. I mean, he led them to 20 points.
I think the Giants defense is better than the Bengals though,
I agree. I
especially at
agree.
home.
But there's something about Cooper Rush, dude. I like this guy. I wish he was the Steelers starting quarterback over the 2 that we got. But Rudolph or Trubisky, I'd take
All
Rush.
right, calm down.
Theory,
Calm
I
down.
swear to God, I would take Rush over Trubisky or Rudolph. I'm not joking. Not kidding. Not even a little bit.
It's a little bit of recency bias, but I'll let you live in your moment.
Dude, the 2 games that I watched him start, one last year and one this year, he's looked good in both.
Yeah.
He's looked good in both.
It's
Can't
easier
say that
though.
about Trubisky. I know the sample size is a lot bigger, but
I think there is something to be said though about the factor of a backup quarterback coming in and the team kind of rallies around him.
I get that.
The team
sure.
says I got to step up my own game to make up for a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah.
So I think there is something about that.
I agree. The overs hit 7 out of the last 9, so I'm just kind of going solely based off of that. These teams do not play a lot of defense against each other, it seems to be. I will be taking the over 39.5 here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my card.
All right, I like it. Let's go to the best bet parlay. I will kick it off. You had this on your card. Phrase that gets said on the show is hungry dogs run faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you do when both teams in a game are both hungry dogs? They haven't been able to eat yet. They're 0-2. One team just got demoralized. One team just got their heart ripped out at the final seconds. I'm taking the team that got their heart ripped out. Give me the Raiders to go into Nashville -1.5. It's going to be the Josh Jacobs show. I think Josh Jacobs has a huge game.
I hope you're
Titans
right.
are allowing over 6 yards a carry. It's Josh Jacobs' feast on Sunday. Titans are dealing with a lot of injuries, most notably Lawan and Bud Dupree. If Lawan does not play in this game, you're going to have a rookie in Dylan Radins and a second-year guy who's making probably his first start ever going against Chandler Jones and Max Crosby.
Good luck. That's not good. Yeah.
Good luck. All the Chargers or all the Raiders will have to do is stop Derrick Henry, which is easier said than done. But in the NFL, you should be able to slow down one guy and force him to go to other guys.
He ain't had the best 2 games to start off this year.
So I think a little bit of that has to do with scheme. I don't know why they're running outside the tackle with him. I get it every once in a while. You got to change it up. You got to get that dude's shoulders towards the end zone. When they're turned to the sideline, bad things are going to happen.
Yep.
I love the Raiders to cover this. They're a hungry dog. They got their heart ripped out against a game that should have won. Like you said, every game in the AFC West, if you're one of those teams, you have to go for every game, especially out of division.
Yep.
Try to win those games. McDaniels gets them up for this one. It's a must win for both teams.
Yep.
But I like the Raiders just as a better team in this game. I think they're just a better team, and they win it outright, and they probably win it by. I'll give them by 4. I think they win it by 4.
I like it.
Tight,
I love that.
I like the Raiders to win.
Love that pick. That makes me feel confident in saying with this next one, best bet parlay is going to hit again. In my opinion, I think we're going to nail it again.
Confident.
Hungry dogs run faster is the saying that we're going to start using here, and that applies to my case as well. Give me Cincinnati minus 4.5 versus the Jets. Jets aren't really that great. Flacco's quarterback.
They got lucky. They got
Bengals.
Lucky.
Bengals lost. They are the first team since the Super Bowl merger to lose their first 2 games on the last play of the game. Think about it. They lost the game on the last play of the game both times. Boom, boom. I think they are going to beat the brakes off of the Jets. I think 4.5 is entirely too low. I think it should probably be a touchdown.
I think you're going to see something like what was it, 28-3 or something week 1 when the Ravens played them.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see something like that.
Yeah, I think they're going to destroy them. It's not necessarily as much sink or swim mode for them because they're only back a game right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like I know, but you can't lose back. This one. You can't lose this one.
Yep.
Then because we both think the Steelers cover and could possibly win.
Yep.
And the Ravens, we got winning, obviously. So then that would be 2 games up. That's a huge difference right there. Give me the Bengals to cover this. I think Burrow and the crew are going to come out just absolutely fired up. Burrow deleted social media today.
I love that.
I
love that. That's an automatic bet.
He's going demon mode. This is the easiest bet right now. I'm straight betting this, and I'm going to put a lot on it.
I was going to say that I didn't know that. That makes me love this bet.
Oh, yeah. He deleted Twitter and Instagram today.
This is going to be a couple units then. On Bengals.
Yeah.
No, I like it. So Raiders minus 1.5 and the Bengals minus 4.5. You want to type in those odds real fast for us, Douglas? So with our best bet parlay, Raiders minus 1.5, and currently the Bengals line is at minus 5.5. I think Douglas still wants to go with that.
I am still taking that. Yeah,
it will be at plus 264. Bet it. We are 2-0 with our best bet parlay. Thank you, Douglas, for having some cojones this week and not doing
I
anytime
knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Shout out to you for that. And let's get into our dollar and a dream and wrap this episode up.
Yep.
I will start it off. Douglas, quick question.
Sure.
If you're trying to stop Baltimore at the goal line, who are the 2 main people you have to worry about?
Jackson and Andrews.
Thank you. You know who they're not thinking about? Isaiah Likely. He had 4 targets last week. He's going to have 1 this week. He's going to be in the end zone. The Coastal Carolina tight end. Give me Isaiah Likely.
I love that pick. Okay, Isaiah Likely. I really like that pick. Obviously, you know that you and I have talked about him before. So with my first here, Miami versus Buffalo. This gentleman has not found the end zone yet, and I believe that he is due for it. Give me Dawson Knox. The Dolphins just let Andrews go nuts last week.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dawson Knox isn't Andrews. I get it. I'm not even trying to say he's even close because he's not. That being said, that's a big tight end. They're going to prioritize Diggs after the 2 weeks that he's just had. So Diggs is probably going to get locked. I think this is a great spot for Dawson Knox. I think the Dolphins ranked 26th against tight ends so far this season. Mm-hmm. They're not good against the tight end. I think Knox is great value. He's due for it, and I think he's going to score his first touchdown of the season this week.
My next game is Kansas City at Indianapolis. This guy had 2 touchdowns in week 1, none last week. He's a big part of their offense. Give me Clyde Edwards-Helaire. James Robinson last week against Indy was able to rip off some long runs. I think their run defense is suspect. Give me Clyde Edwards-Helaire to run one in from 25 yards out or something.
I like that. I like that pick. With my next one, I am covering the Saints and Panthers. Look, this is pretty easy for me. Give me CMC. In 7 games in his career versus the Saints, he's got 694 total yards, 265 on the ground and 429 through the air. 5 total touchdowns. In one of those games, he got hurt and missed the rest of the game in the first quarter. And that's
Nice.
the numbers that he's putting up. So really, it's like 6 games. Those are his numbers. 44 catches and 84 rushes in those 7 games as well. Just the volume is there. I think that he's due for a decent week. I don't like that game at all as far as touching it, anything else,
Mm-hmm.
spread or nothing. But I think CMC is going to get his and he will find the end zone.
My next one, I can't believe this guy hasn't scored yet, and he's going against the team that's given up the most rushing touchdowns. Give me Dalvin Cook. Detroit at Minnesota. Dalvin Cook's going to find the end zone.
That's a great pick. I was hoping that's who you took for that game. With my next one, Eagles, Commanders. Give me Devonta Smith. Dude's coming around a little bit. AJ Brown obviously is the main weapon there, and I get it. But last week, or what was that? Monday. Yeah, Monday. Devonta Smith had, what was it, 7 catches for 90 yards, I think, 100 yards. I mean, he had a great game, and the Commanders have let up 100 yards to receivers in 2 straight weeks, Christian Kirk and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So
And
if
their focus is going to be on
on
Brown. So
bingo. So that's what made me pick Smith here a little bit. I think he's a little bit better of a route runner than AJ Brown too. He's going to get open a little faster than Brown would. So I love Devonta Smith here, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't close to just taking Jalen Hurts.
Las Vegas at Tennessee. I love Las Vegas to win a game. Derrick Henry's going to get in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, how do you go against
How
that
do you
guy?
if they get the ball inside the 5? How does he not score?
Yeah, I definitely
They're
don't
not
mind
going to be
that.
able to throw the ball. I think the edge rushes are too much there with for Las Vegas. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Pound it with King Henry.
Yeah, I like it. Bengals Jets. Give me T Higgins. I know Jamar Chase would be the popular pick here, and I get it. But if for some reason is Sauce Gardner rolled out, do you know?
I know he was in concussion protocol against he got hit in the head. He was in
Okay.
concussion protocol, so
Um,
I have not seen that he was rolled out, but I don't know. And if he is going to play concussion, he might make it through concussion protocol. So
yeah, if he plays, I'm assuming he's going to want Chase. He seems arrogant. He's probably going to be in Bobby Salah's ear saying, "Can I,
mm-hmm.
follow this guy?" And he's pretty lock up. He's done well so far.
Yeah.
That being said, T. Higgins and Burrow have each played the Jets one time in their career. When they did, Higgins was the leading receiver. He had 4 catches for 97 yards. Volumes there. There's just a really good spot here. I think Higgins will find the end zone. And I don't know, has he scored yet? No, yes, he did. I think he scored against Dallas.
Okay.
I think he did score against Dallas, but I think he's going to repeat here as well. Love Higgins here, and Chase's value is just too low for me to take.
Jacksonville at the Chargers, my next game. Obviously, the Chargers seem like the team to take one with. I'm taking James Robinson. I think the Chargers' run defense still stinks. Give me Robinson. He had some big long runs against the Indy last week. I saw the share carry. It was like 34-13. Robinson and ETN. Robinson had the majority. He's the true number 1 down there. Give it to him. That dude can make plays. I'm taking a playmaker.
I love it. Packers Bucks. Give me Leonard Fournette. They allowed 180 rushing yards to the Bears and 126 to the Vikings. That's 153 a game. I get it that they're down interior linemen, but their receivers are also gone. They're going to try and get them going. And when they get down in that red zone, they're going to try and pound the football and see what happens. I think this is a great spot. And Fournette apologized to his fantasy owners for not putting up bigger points in fantasy. So I really think he's out to do something here. So I think this is a great spot here.
This was the guy I was looking at some team stats for the Atlanta-Seattle games. He was getting touches. This guy's not even probably top 8 in touches. I just have a gut feeling on this one. Trust me here. Trust me. Will Dissly. Will Dissly seems and probably like 4 or 5 times a year, he catches a touchdown pass. It's always at home. Will Dissly, the guy who played at Montana. He's a Grizzly. Shout out Montana. Dissly scores for the Seahawks.
I like that. With my last one here, covering the Sunday night game, Niners Broncos. I get that Debo's the fun streaming option, but Jeff Wilson looked solid last week. And with Jimmy G back, they're going against the number 1 pass defense right now, at least statistically they are. I'll be riding with the strong run game here and taking Jeff Wilson to get into the end zone. I think he's due. One of their running backs are due. They're going to try to get Debo. I wouldn't be shocked if he scored as well. It's Debo. I mean, what are we doing? But Jeff Wilson, I think here, great value. He's going to get the touches to do it, and they're not going to throw too much if they don't have to.
I like it. My last one, the Rams head to Arizona. This is the guy we talked about before. He has not caught a touchdown pass. Some of his teammates already have 2. Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee gets in the end zone. I just have a gut feeling him and Disley. I think they're getting in this weekend.
I love that. And I lied to you guys. I actually did have one more, but I saved it for last because it's so bad. Texans Bears. What are we doing here, huh? I mean,
thank you for not giving me a Texans or Bears game.
No, I knew
for
you
the
didn't
first
want
time.
It. I knew you didn't
well,
want
because
it.
I got both of them the first 2 weeks.
That being said, give me David Montgomery. I think
that's probably the best.
It's the best option I can take here. Best offensive player on either side of the ball. But
awesome. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Shout us out on social media. We'll see you guys later.